Well. Car broke down and now it's home though, but broke down after work in Pasadena. You know, unfortunately the car hasn't given me an issue since since last year, 2019 in March. That's when I replaced the head gasket, so now it's giving me an issue, but we'll see if we're gonna resolve that. But here's a little update. So yeah, broke down. Gonna be back up on jack stands again. So yeah, but there's a plank of wood right there to help my car off, and yep, I'll get back to you guys once it's done. All right, she's off the lift. Tow truck. Yup, it's a sad day, but you know, now I get to learn and work out what's wrong with it so I can get her back on the road again. Yeah. Shout out my boy, AAA man, coming in clutch. What is wrong with you? We gotta find out. Is it on? Alright guys, what's going on? It's Joseph. Sorry, you can't see me. It's Joseph, and car's having issues, as you can see. I had to get it towed from work. But yeah, unfortunately it's not running right now. It cranks, but it doesn't start. This was an issue I had before about a year ago, like 10 months ago, March of 2019. But surprisingly enough, March of 2019 was the last time I ever had issues with it. So it's almost been a full year before this car is giving me any shit. So I'm not surprised that it took a crap on me, but hey, like, it's old. It lasted this long before, like, after, like, you know, I like to drive spiritedly, but you know, stuff happens. So yeah, on the weekend when I get time, I'm gonna be putting this thing on jack stands. We're gonna replace sensors that need to be replaced. I'm gonna check all the engine fault codes, and we're gonna get done what needs to get done. So yeah, all right. With that being said, we will transition to the weekend. Boom, we are back to another day, and Civic is still down. My name is Joseph, and welcome back to the channel. So we will be working on the Civic today, just like that. I have a bunch of stuff in here. Okay. There's gas in the tank, I can assure you that. But yeah. Crank, no start. We need to figure out what that issue is. Okay, so there's 5 things you need to check for a car that cranks but doesn't start. It needs to be air, fuel, spark, timing, and compression. Those are the 5 things you need for a car to run. So there we go. We're gonna be checking all 5 of those things today to see why the car isn't starting, and I'm gonna start by checking the gas. When I had the car towed to my house, when the car was dropped off, I tried putting the key in position 2, and I didn't hear the fuel pump prime, so we're gonna go check that first. Alright, so what we're gonna do is see if the fuel pump works or if any fuel is even getting into the engine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect the fuel line that goes to the fuel rail, and then I'm gonna put that in a water bottle or something to catch it. And I'll have my dad turn on the key to see if any fuel comes out. That'll tell us if the fuel pump is working or not. So I gotta take apart all of this real quick. Alright, now that the air box is out of the way, we can locate our fuel rail. Fuel rail is this one right here. Follow that up here, and this leads to our fuel rail, that shiny green thing back there. You're gonna wanna uncap that, take it off, and it's gonna expose the safety connector, and you're gonna want to disconnect it. Some fuel may come out, but just get the grip of both sides and pull it out like that. See, like that, just like that. And now we're gonna stick this end in a bottle and see if fuel comes out. when I prime the engine, because that's what leads to the fuel rail. So, oh yeah, smells like gasoline. Lovely. All right, let's try it out.
The fuel pump still connected?
Yeah, it's connected.
The electrical too?
Yeah, electrical is connected. Don't try to start the car, just put it to position too. I'll tell you when to try and start it. Aha! No fuel. Alright, try and start the car. Try and start it for 2 seconds.
Start?
Yeah. Yup, there's no fuel coming from the fuel line. Yeah, there's no fuel. There's no fuel. Okay, we got gas here. We're gonna try to pour it into the intake, see if it starts. Wait, hold on. Okay, you're going to start it and then give it a little throttle, okay? See how it died out as soon as I stopped giving it gas? Yeah. So it's definitely the fuel pump. Nothing's getting gasoline to the car. Good, right?
I hope so.
Alright, so now we're gonna check the electrical going to the fuel pump, see if it's getting 12 volts, to see if it's the fuel pump itself or the harness. Okay, rear seat is out, and that exposes our gas tank right here. So I'm gonna go undo this and let's see what we got underneath.
You can just turn it on.
Well, it won't
and
send.
then do the testing.
No. Okay, let me find a ground here. Volts. Okay, seatbelt ground. So the goal here is to check if anything is getting 12 volts. Volts. Okay. 0, 0. Alright, so we have voltage. I don't know why it's not 12 volts, it's just 10, but now we're gonna check for a resistance.
Maybe you don't have gas.
Well, I do. Alright, we're gonna open up the back right now to check if there's gas. Ugh. Come out as one piece, please. Yeah, look, it's all soaked in gas.
Where's the pump?
Yeah, there's definitely gas in there.
Look, where is the pump?
This is the pump.
With the plastic
Yeah,
tape?
no, this whole assembly.
Whole assembly?
There's definitely gas in there because I can see, and it smells. Oh, it's leaking. I'm gonna put it back inside. But you guys can see it's dripping. It's dripping. That's how you test it with a carbureted vehicle. It is. Alright, so old fuel pump is out. Alright, so basically they sell only 2 parts at O'Reilly or AutoZone. It's the fuel pump that is inside here by itself, or the whole thing, which is super expensive, like $300. So I'm gonna take this apart and we're just gonna test the fuel pump real quick. Alright, everything's torn apart, and not gonna lie, it did take me like 20 minutes to just take this thing apart. Now that we have it open, we got our fuel pump here, fuel filter down there, all that dirt. What I'm gonna do now is connect to these leads to 12 volts directly to the battery, just to confirm it isn't working. So let's go do that now.
Okay, so that's the pump.
So I'm gonna leave it right here. It's hooked up.
So if you connect it to the battery,
It should power up.
it should power up if it's still working.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's working.
Well, it's working, but
There's no what? Okay, that's confusing.
but that it doesn't work. Well, it spins, but so it still works then, right? Or
Okay, but then
that
why
has
is
to
it
have
not pumping?
does it has to have like a seal that has to be sealed so that it will be able to pump fuel.
No, no. It should just be this sitting in the fuel.
So is it? Where's the fuel going? Here in this filter?
Yeah, it'll go through that filter and into the pump and out the top.
This is not spinning.
No. It's
The one inside is
yeah,
the
the
one
one
spinning?
inside. What? Ooh, I'm stumped right now.
Maybe that part
Go for it.
where it is connected.
Hmm.
Is there an electrical?
Yeah,
Part?
there is.
Why don't you test that
Okay.
one too?
Alright, so since the fuel pump works, I'm gonna try it now with this harness in line, the harness that connects it to the whole assembly. I have it wired here in line, so yeah, the fuel pump works. Okay, let's try the rest of the assembly. Oh, there's fuel everywhere. Okay, it's connected. Okay, so now everything, all the wires that would be plugged in from the tank into the unit is plugged in. So now I'm going to connect the wire and see if it works. Okay, yeah, the fuel pump does work. You could see it. So that must mean that it's not a problem with the fuel pump, meaning the fuel pump's okay. That means there's an internal problem, and that's what scares me. Oh boy, time to check fuses. So nothing with this setup is wrong. The fuel pump is not the issue here. Boys and girls, this is a very, very sad day. So because the whole fuel pump assembly works, as we have visually proved it, I have hooked up my leads to the plug of the fuel pump, position 2, which should be giving it 12 volts. Nothing. My biggest fear is confirmed, that there's a short in the harness somewhere, not allowing, or an open. More diagnosing. Alright, so I put the fuel pump back in after disassembling it, because that whole thing was done already. So I'm going to put the fuel line back in. I had this car towed because I didn't know what was wrong, but I think I just figured out what was wrong. The fuel pump and the whole assembly was working. It got voltage. Like, I tried all the wires, everything was fine. But I found something under the dash, and it appears to be a kill switch that the previous owner had installed. And maybe I finally tripped it or something, because I've owned this car for 4 years now, and I've never run into this issue. The kill switch was cutting off voltage to the fuel pump, and I think I hit it with my foot or something. Like, this is crazy. It was a stupid kill switch. Watch, I haven't even started the car yet. This is my first time right now. Like, bro. Watch. I'm gonna give it some more gas. The car wasn't broken. It was just the stupid kill switch that someone had put underneath the dash, and I happened to hit it with my foot. But the previous owner didn't tell me about it. Oh well. At the end of the day, I'm happy because I have a running car now. Oh my god! Fuck! I saw you facing the stupid camera and I turned around and you freaking face! Everyone say hi to Popar.
Popar desu.
Yeah, it's Popar. Yeah, she's taking Japanese class right now, so she's all up in that. Anyway, yeah, so I guess this video would just be how to diagnose a fuel pump, a possible fuel pump, because you saw how I diagnosed it. I used a multimeter and I went through all of the components. So the fuel pump itself, I wired it directly to the battery. The wires that connected it inside and outside, and on top of the fuel tank. So, and then once I confirmed that those units were working properly, then I just followed the harness all the way back to the fuse box, checked that the fuses were good. But when I looked underneath the footwell to check where the fuse box is, there's a kill switch, and I just didn't see it. And maybe my foot hit it or something, but I wish the previous owner would have told me that there was a kill switch in the car. But I'm thankful that I hadn't spent any money yet just diagnosing this. Like, I already have all the tools I needed, so yeah. Oh boy, I was super stressed out. Well, I wasn't that bad of stressed out, but I was just, you know, oh boy, here she is again. But yeah, all right, so that might be the end for this video, or maybe just for today. I'm going to start the video again tomorrow, but we have to replace certain things like the crankshaft position sensor. Is this even clear? Crankshaft position sensor. I have to jack up the engine out of the engine bay just a tiny bit, and then put the new sensor in, take all that stuff out. So that's gonna be fun. Not really.